Hey folks, okay, I took the silver sword that was back there next to the Goeppertia medallion, between the Goeppertia and the ring of fire in the back there, and I pulled it out, and I'm going to be preparing it today for air layering, for all sorts of reasons. I need to get it onto a different pole. I want it to be able to recenter, and I want it out of a pot as quickly as possible, because I do want it back there as quickly as possible, but on the wall. And I think this is really just ultimately the fastest way for me to go about doing it, while saving all of this wonderful regrowth that I'm getting at the top. It's going close, as you can see. It's just exploding here now. I now have two branches. It's now a double stem, and just below the double stem, it's about to become another double stem with these side shoots. So I want to keep all of that dense new growth and stuff, which come down to about here. So the backward facing leaf with the backward goofy petiole that started this whole thing of the plant getting off center is coming off today. It's going to get cut about an inch from the main stem to leave a little bit of petiole on there, and then you just let the petiole dry up and it'll fall off. Do not break that off of the stem. Cut the leaf anywhere along the petiole. And then let the petiole just dry up and fall off. That's really the way to do it. Otherwise, you really run the risk of messing up the plant and creating a nice injury. Again, open point, a much bigger sore, and much more vulnerable type of wound to affect the plant. So just yeah, you can cut it really close, right there. That's fine. But do not grab this and try to just like that. It looks like you can do it, but don't. Trust me. I haven't lied to you yet. But yeah, it's going to solve a whole bunch of issues for me. It's going to be really the fastest way to do it. And this is stage one. So stage one, pull the plant out from its spot. Prep the area where you're going to be making the air layering. And basically, hold on a second. Well, we'll do it. I'll do it for you here. You'll see exactly what I use and how I use. Let me just go get it. Okay, folks. Sorry about that. A pair of rusty, dusty pruning shears. I use this for everything. Cutting PVC, plastic tubing, what have you. This was, I had something like this attached to my hip for 4 years, working on as a orchard hand. And there you go, Felco. Right there. This is, I don't think it's a Felco 8, but the Felco 8 is the one I used to have. I'm not sure exactly what model number this is. The locking tab actually broke a long time ago, but this thing is got to be about 10 years old, and I use it all the time. And without dipping it into alcohol or anything funky like that, I'm not really worried about it. I'm grabbing the leaf now, and I'm cutting right there. Nice and clean. Okay, folks, there you go. Now what's going to happen is I might even cut a little bit lower. What's going to happen now is that is going to wither away and die, and then naturally fall off of the plant. And it's also probably now going to accelerate the development of that bud there, which might end up being a little bit bothersome. But you know what? I'm gonna go in and cut a little bit more. There we go. Okay. That's better. Let me get that out of the pot. Okay, we're done. Chuck the leaf in the garbage. Bear with me a moment. Okay, there we go. Now, as soon as that withers off, and I can, you know, just push it off the plant with the tip of a finger, what I will then do is probably cut that taproot going down into the ground, and the taproot that's presently behind the petiole that goes into the tube. They're both going to get cut, and then I'm going to wrap. I might even cut this leaf as well. Yeah, I'm going to cut this leaf too. And bear with me here. I got to see where I am. Yeah, this leaf also gets cut. Hold on. Okay, this will be even a better, much more easy to cut. Now look how close I'm going to the main stem, and kaboom. Now here you can see, this is both nectaries and thrips. Right there. Look at the underside of the leaf. Okay, that's probably mostly thrips. All that damage there. That edema. Alright, and that's what it looks like on the surface, the top. So, now the reason why I cut that leaf stem is because I'm going to be wrapping this plant pretty much right up until that collar marking. Where am I here? Here we go. You see that collar? Kind of, that node marking where the roots are coming out of? I want those roots wrapped up in sphagnum. Okay, I want this whole little section right here wrapped up in sphagnum, especially this knee. Okay, and there's really not a lot of space to work with. So I don't want that leaf interfering. I want to be able to get up as close as possible to that new back little stem shoot trunk, so to speak, that's wrapping itself around. Okay, the main stem here. Look at that. But it's wrapping around and coming forward. And then the ultimately, once this bend is in the tube, okay, here's the line. Let me show you. This is one cutoff of where I want the sphagnum, the air layering to start. Okay, right above this leaf, right at the, I want this to make roots here. This little node. Okay, what's right above there. Okay, so I want this to root, I want this to root, and I want to try to get, yeah, these two nodes right here. These are the ones that are going to be making me the roots. There we go. So I got these two out of the way. I'm leaving this leaf on because I still do want to save as much of this bottom piece as possible. Not that I'm going to end up using it, but I do want to save it for now. You know, to see what I end up left with. Oh, sorry about that. Bear with me here. So that's that, folks. That's all the prep work I needed to do, really, for now. Is just get those two leaves out of the way. It makes my life easier to do the work I want to do, and it'll also encourage the plant, I think, to bolt out even further and faster than what it's doing now. And so there'll be that. You know, the top will also increase its growth rate, and it'll cause that the bottom shoot to sprout even more vigorously, as well as this. You know, that's going to be the response to the damage. I'm really curious to see what's going on here. I should have a big leaf getting ready to explode after this little teeny sucker right there. But yeah, and hopefully then I'll be able to, once this is on the wall, you know, and mount it on a appropriate tube, and in the corner, back where it was. Hopefully it'll start, you know, rarely throwing me out these goofy backward pointing leaves. I really wish I knew why they do that. At any rate, it's certainly on the way to recovery. I mean, you know, that whole explosion at the top, it's almost like a full crown of new stem growth right there. But you can see, yeah, and all over, you know, all the way down to there is new stem. So is new branch. So and the eyes are all swelling up and poking out, you know, all up and down. So yeah, I think it's a good candidate and a good time, especially now that the days are getting longer. That's always the best time. Spring is always the best time to do any kind of major quote-unquote surgery or traumatic operation to a plant, because they really are in active growth mode, and they can take hits a lot better than when they're in resting mode or approaching dormancy mode or what have you. Springtime, always the best time to do any kind of propagation. Even the chafleurs that I did, all the chafleurs I own are all propagated from one initial small purchase at Walmart, you know, for like $15 or whatever, in a 4-inch pot. And now I've got, you know, maybe almost half a dozen trees. Soon I'm going to have one more. So, and this is the time of year to do them. If you try to do them in September, October, they're much more difficult to get to take after tenting them. Well, I'm going to do a video on that. You'll see how I do the chafleurs. Super easy. But you just got to do it when they're in actively growing mode. Let me just kick this puppy back a bit to get it a little bit better in the light. Okay, here we go. So that's it, folks. That's the first, my first step in prepping that section of the plant for air layering. Those are already, you can see, beginning to discolor and oxidize a little bit. They'll be sealed up in hours, and then they'll just begin to, as soon as the plant really processes the message of the wounding, it'll begin to, you know, seal them off at the stem side, and then they will just turn yellow, and I can, probably in a week or so, I'll be able to just poke them off with my finger, gently, you know, they'll just fall right off. And then I cut the roots, and then I wrap it with sphagnum in plastic with some plant Velcro, and we'll be in business. I might use, if I can, and if I can find them, I have some propagation balls. And what I mean by a propagation ball is it's basically two pieces that look like this, right? And the idea is that you snap them together around the stem of the plant, and they hold sphagnum. This stem is a little bit too big for that, though. It's exactly how I did the rubber plant. They actually did work well, but you know, it's really for convenience's sake. Again, you can't really use them on very thick trunked or thick stem plants, and it's just as from a performative standpoint, you might as well just use saran wrap and some rubber bands or string and or plant Velcro. So there you have it, folks. First prep of the silver sword for air layering. Have fun.